Oftentimes when I'm working with clients who have expertise and they've had a lot of success, but it's not translating into their visibility strategy, and either they're getting on podcasts and it's not performing as well as they'd like, or they're feeling really ghosted by the episodes. The problem isn't what they think it is. It's not about their message. It's about their connections or their lack of connections. You are listening to Amplify Your Success Podcast, episode 463. And today we're going to talk about a dormant growth multiplier that's already available to you, but you may not be utilizing properly. You ready for this? Let's get started. Welcome to the Amplify Your Success Podcast. Get ready to ramp up your revenue, amplify your impact, and make your mark in the world. This is the show for experts, thought leaders, and service professionals who want to shatter their limits and achieve that next level. You're going to find out from other experts and influencers how they made it. Now, let's get amplified. Hey there, expert entrepreneurs and business leaders. It's your host, Melanie Benson, authority amplifier to expert-based entrepreneurs who are ready to claim their bold message. And today, I want to talk a little bit about a different kind of visibility. It's actually a little bit of an integration between networking and collaboration. And this is lying dormant in so many expert-based businesses, especially when people have been in business a long time. They've had a lot of success just being visible and building a lot of momentum around their brand. But there is another channel that they may not have really activated in their business, and that is collaboration. And there's a lot of reasons why I'm actually going to do a couple in this series, because I'm hosting a collaboration currency challenge. And I want to invite you to join us. And so I want to share a little bit about why collaboration is such an important part of my business model, why I teach it to all my clients, why it's a big part of my Authority Accelerator program. And it's because it's dormant in so many expert-based businesses. So I'll share a couple case studies with clients and what was really in the way, but also what's possible when you collaborate well. And so this is really about what I call a collaboration ecosystem. And if this is speaking to you and you're like, yeah, I'm kind of recognizing I'm hitting a plateau with my solo approach, or the collaborations that I have been doing haven't been performing well, or, something's just off in this whole model for me, like it should be working, but it's not. Or like a lot of my clients say, Melanie, I don't have it in me to do these really complex with lots of moving parts, joint venture deals that they see their colleagues doing. This is for you. Collaboration could be simple. It's very powerful, but it has to be intentional. And I want to help you map out your collaboration currency strategy with my free challenge. It starts November 10th. And you absolutely want to join in. There will be an opportunity to upgrade to VIP if that speaks to you. To go deeper, I'll be coaching you personally through that process. And I've aligned some really powerful opportunities for you to leave with real collaboration results. So head over to melaniebenson.com/challenge and you can join us as my free guest. Now, let me give you a couple reasons why you want to join us in this episode today. I call this the dormant growth multiplier because a lot of my clients, and even, I've kind of gone in and out of this myself. And every time I think, wow, okay, my email list is stagnant. We're not seeing the growth spurt we're normally used to. We're seeing a lot of people who aren't buyers coming in. When I look at where did we not focus our attention on what we know works, it's always back to collaboration. Now, collaboration means a lot of things to a lot of people. And just a couple of clarity points. When I talk about collaboration, I'm talking about strategic partnerships that become part of what I call your $1 million visibility network. And when done well, this should be delivering you profitable results. And a really great collaboration isn't one transaction. It's a real desire to keep co-creating visibility, opportunities, to share leads with each other, to bring each other into opportunities when they emerge. And it's because there is synergy between you and the other person that should be paying off. And like I said, it has to be intentional, because if you don't put it to the forefront, it'll fall by the wayside and it'll be something that is always an afterthought. And that's because that means you'll end up missing a lot of opportunities, but you're also not nurturing these collaboration partners properly, and they're going to lean into other people. Now, not everybody's going to be a great partner for you. Not everybody's meant to be your strategic partner. And I'm going to talk about that in this little mini series. But I want to bring the idea forward that when you collaborate well, you're actually creating what I call a collaboration ecosystem. And I've had so many clients and so many peers actually turn to me and say, Melanie, I am doing all the things that I know you've taught us, or I know we should be doing to be getting booked on really aligned shows. We're chasing people down to get on their shows, or I'm pitching and we're getting ghosted, or I've paid this booking agency a lot of money and they're not really landing me the right results. And part of what's happening is they've got part of the idea right, and that is you need visibility, but they're not really approaching it from a collaboration ecosystem concept. A collaboration ecosystem is something that there is an exchange, there is a exchange of value, there is a win-win-win approach, and the collaboration ecosystem is one opportunity leads to another opportunity leads to another opportunity. There's that compounding effect, but it's like everything is building on the next piece of the collaboration puzzle. So how do you build a collaboration ecosystem? Well, I am going to unpack this in a much more specific and concise way in the challenge, but let me just say two things. First of all, this is not a transaction. This is not, can I get on your podcast? This is not, will you promote me? This is a co-creation of mutually supportive opportunities, visibility, and lead generation that continues to build on each other over and over and over again. And that's why I like to call it an ecosystem. Some of the partners that I collaborate with, we've been collaborating, we've been supporting each other for over a decade. And some people, we have been doing things for 20 years or more. And when you really understand how to build and nurture these relationships, they are not I get something. It is I'm co-creating currency in the form of shared authority, of giving each other that implied trust to our audiences, but opening up the relationships you've built with your community and sharing it with each other. So obviously there has to be trust there, there has to be respect there has to be shared values. So we'll speak more about that in the next episode. This is not a solo sport. This is an ecosystem that you commit to, that you nurture and you build. And when you do this well, it should be paying off over and over and over again. Now, there are I'll use the cheesy 3 C's of collaboration ecosystem, right? So there are 3 components to this. And the first one is clarity. In order for this to work well, you've got to get known for something. And you have to have a reputation and authority behind it. Now, if you don't feel like you have this yet, please do not despair. This is one of the things we're going to work on in the challenge, but it's also, this is figure outable. Okay, everybody has something they can be known for. And if you don't know what that is, pick something, pick anything. Just pick something to work with. And when you get known for something and you build what I call the lighthouse message, that's my trademark messaging system around that, the first component of your ecosystem starts to work on your behalf. It works through your content. It works through your visibility. It works through all of the things that you are doing to get known. And what that does is it gives those potential partners a place to start. They're like, oh, you're known for this. I'm known for that. This is how we might work together. And the second C of your ecosystem is connection. Really understanding who are the people that are already in your network, already in your sphere of influence, already in your social media, your associations, in your the communities that you're active in, that if you were to be intentional and co-create with them, that you could actually move the needle on this a little bit more. So I'll give you an example. And this is where having a podcast comes in your favor. Like if you host your own podcast, or you host your own show, or you have a stage that you can book people on, or you have a portal that you write, like wherever you can add value. This is what we call the collaboration playbook, like what you can add value to other people with. When you identify that properly, or when you identify that and then you know how to share that with people properly, what's going to happen is you have a way to open those connections and add value. Okay, but again, not everybody's a great connection, not everybody's a great collaboration partner, so you're going to want to go a little bit deeper into that and understand in next episode what is working and what's not working. And then the third part of the collaboration ecosystem, the third C, is your circulation. And this is really key. This is where a lot of people drop the ball. You need to have a reciprocity plan. You need to keep building on it. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. So I'll give you a little insider scoop. I mentioned this collaboration currency challenge I'm doing. Well, I invited several of my own collaboration partners to come and join the VIP experience and share a little bit about what their collaboration plays are. What is it that they look for in partners and what might kill the deal? This is massively valuable information. And the reason why is these are all people that we have been collaborating in some way, shape, or form, some of them for a decade. Some of them are newer, but there are so many great examples. But let me give you one right now. One of the people I asked to join me, we have had this really amazing circulation ecosystem, if you will, unfolding. So she actually pitched me to be on my show last year. And I don't normally take pitches, but there was something really good about this one. And so I said, sure. And we booked in. Then she invited me to her show. And it was such a powerful interview. She then invited me to be a guest in this series she was doing. And then she introduced me to someone else. And then I introduced her to someone who was using her specific niche and modality. They were building an entire conference around that. So I introduced her to them. And then I invited her to another event I was doing. And then over and over and over again. That's the circulation. It's not one and done, unless it's just not a good partner. And I have had those situations where I invited somebody who I knew was really a big collaborator, but I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing this again. And that's because they didn't know how to be a good partner. And they didn't have the circulation and the generosity of spirit that I really look for in collaborations. So the circulation matters. There's a lot of ways to do that. Like, this doesn't have to be overwhelming. It just has to be intentional. Now, one of my clients, one of the reasons why I decided to do the collaboration challenge again is I started seeing my clients who we've been working together in Thor Accelerator. I've been pitching them to get on shows, and we've kind of gotten all their foundations in place. They know what they're known for. They've got their lighthouse message. They've got their offer totally dialed in. But it was still feeling a little shallow. Like, okay, I'm doing the podcast episodes, and that's great, but there's got to be another way that we can optimize the visibility. And so we started to focus on their collaboration ecosystems. And very simple questions were coming up, like, well, how do I move these conversations that I'm having with a podcast host into more of a collaboration? How do I move from, there being some kind of an interest to adding value to them? And just the level of questions that were coming up, I thought, this is like second nature for me, but it may not be for everybody else. And simple shifts in how you intentionally collaborate can make the difference between having an amazing experience and being frustrated and feeling disappointed and not seeing the ROI on your collaboration efforts. So that's been my spark and my inspiration behind hosting the Collaboration Currency Challenge, because in 5 days, I can map out all of the steps in your strategy with you and give you a really, really great foundation for seeing profitable results from your collaborations. So if that's what I'm speaking to, again, I'm going to give you a little invitation here to come join us. It starts November 10th. If you're listening to this later, you can still go to the page and see what the opportunity is to access the trainings. But this is really, really valuable, really powerful. And it's how I fueled my entire business since 2002. Collaborations are the lifeblood of every growth stage I've hit. And I would love to help walk you through what you can incorporate, whether you're newer or whether you're ready to scale and reach that next level. There is a perfect level of collaboration for you. Thanks for tuning in today, Amplifier. We're going to keep this conversation going, and I want to hear from you how you're going to amplify your authority and make a greater impact. Before you go, please take a minute to give our show and our guests some love over on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. Leave your full name, and I'll spotlight you and your authority on social media.